Oh my goodness. And then it goes away by itself. That's fancy. I didn't make it. It came preloaded with the stupid stuff that I pay for to stream all these things. And look at this timing. My dogs were like barking in the middle of it too. I'm like, oh my God, can it finish on time? But it did. Success. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
It's Tuesday and I'm Tori. And this is like Tuesday's Tori and Timothy. Timothy and Tori on a Tuesday. It's terrific. It's trouble. It's pick other cool names that start with T. I'm excited. I was babbling on the back end here. Like, you know what? Happy New Year. I have a show and now I have to keep doing the things because some people have been like, well, maybe this is a retail education program. So I'm like, I guess I have to keep doing this. So that's good. There's my accountability. But also I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm like, I'm going to bother my friends. So Happy New Year. We're going to leave 2020, 2024, 2025.
Congratulations on your nominations.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Now I'm like, that's a whole different episode where you're talking about imposter syndrome. Is it imposter syndrome or is it like the lens of marketing when it kind of, I don't know, at least when you realize there's multiple lenses, it's kind of like, well, is this just how everybody does it? You just throw yourself out there. And if you keep doing it, maybe somebody does something and it happens. Can it be that easy? Not that that's this easy. Consistency is never easy.
No,
anyway.
It's not imposter syndrome. I mean, you've been around enough. You do a good thing, and it's nice to be recognized. You know.
Oh, you make me sound cooler than I am. Oh, you've been around. Yeah, I'm cool.
You get some longevity.
I've been around. Oh, these puppies. Now I have another one that wants in my lap. Okay, I put like a chair here.
Okay.
So they wouldn't keep fighting. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for people that are starting to blurb on, huh?
I said, at least you're not folding your laundry.
You know what? This could get real. It's an authentic podcast. Don't, one day it could be like, hey, I haven't gotten a stream. Now I'm going to fold. That could happen at altitude. I'll be like, welcome to the booth. I'm merchandising. What are you going to do? It's the authenticity and my dogs might bark.
I've been on a Zoom meeting and someone was folding their laundry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were they leading the Zoom meeting? Was this like a book club? Like no. I do things like in social stuff. This was like a business professional meeting.
This was like a work thing.
Okay. Well, hey, if you have to multitask, that sounds I think I used to be like, I'm a good multitasker. And now I'm like, I can't. If you actually want anything half-assed out of me, I can't. Why would I fold laundry and try to talk?
Well, we have to be on camera on our calls for work.
Ah, well, which isn't that bad either.
I personally,
because if you were in an office, you'd be looking at somebody, right?
Right. I think it's better that you are on camera, so you're paying attention.
Although I've read some stuff, I don't know if there's a word coming out, buzzword, where there's something going on, some phenomena where post-pandemic people have, I don't want to say it's like a dysmorphia, but same sort of thing where people are studying the propaganda of like us having to stare at ourselves in a screen. Like that's interesting. We're all going to be a different body dysmorphia with AI. And now the fact that we've had to stare at ourselves, like talk about the out-of-body experiences right now. I can't.
But everybody does. You look at your Zoom picture and you're like, oh God, I don't know. God. Let me adjust the camera. Let me do the lighting. Let me figure it out a little bit. So.
Oh my goodness. Or me right now, I'm trying to figure out this thing that is called the ether of social media, right? And I'll share it with y'all as I'm figuring out. So I think I had shared on the last couple of episodes. I'm like, okay, I finally made piece by piece. Tuesdays with Tori has their own Facebook page. Yay. Because a page and a profile is different than a group and a whatever things. Okay. It still needs some work, but now I'm able to like post reels and things and do other stuff. So I'm trying to do that, but also I'm like, oh my God, it's just me. I'm like, literally, this is a training. 2025, my word so far is the training, and me just like, don't overthink it. I literally am like scheduling posts and I like have to run away because I will go and delete it because I'm so sick of staring at myself or talking about myself. So we're going to have Timothy come here. I like this. Oh, yay. Look, it's Crystal. Oh. Hi, my favorite people. Thank you, Crystal.
Crystal, that wasn't you folding laundry.
Oh my goodness. Is this like the tea? Should I guess later? That'll be part of the rapid fire questions. So now that we've got a couple people kind of jumping on, I just kind of going to do the introduction that I'm supposed to do. Someday it'll be fancy, people, but it's not. But hello, it's Tuesday. This is Tuesdays with Tori, where I decided I didn't have any coworkers to bother anymore. So when I work remote, no, not really. Mostly I had kind of like this, what we'll just call like weird experience where I jumped from doing mostly lubricants, working for a lube manufacturer, and then switched to being kind of like a master distributor for condoms. And just the way that the businesses are run, you think it's the same, it's completely different. And just the hurdles I'm realizing in trying to connect the dots between information, misinformation. So I started a soapbox, and then I spoke into the ether of the internet, and then people kept coming, and now coming. I got dirty minds sometimes. And then now I have a nomination. So people are like validating me. So thank you. And it's weird all at the same time. So I'm going to have fun with it. Why not? Timothy, I'm going to let you introduce yourself here in a minute, but I did want to just kind of load it up where I'm like really, really excited about this episode. Even though I think if I go back, because again, I'm trying to learn how to edit things in the videos. If I go back, I'm probably saying that all the time. But not only is this like, yay, the first big bang episode of 2025. Timothy and I I could call you friend, right? I think I put that in the post. You can't. It's a really great reason to be a content creator and interview friends, right? So at the end of the day, I'm going to have so much like content in 10 years where I can be like, Timothy, remember before I got my facelift or something? Look at the cute little thing we did. Like, I don't know if I'm the only person.
You're my first nose.
First nose. Oh, remember when you wore those frames before whatever it is, right? So I don't know. I might be the only person that overthinks. I don't know if Catherine's out there. I know she will understand what I'm about to say, but like at the end of the day, it's like, what am I doing? Not necessarily a legacy, but how am I leaving a mark somewhere? So welcome to my mark. We'll have this in 10 years to bullshit about it. And even if that's all that happens, I think it's amazing. So I reached out to Timothy and I was like, I got too excited. I haven't been able to bother you for a little bit. Look at there's Brandy. I gotta
Hola, Brandita, mi amor.
La bichona. Oh my goodness. And then look, hi baby. But you didn't do any comments here. But this is awesome. He's at work. So I think this is like the first time he's actually watching the show for realsies. Blanca, happy New Year.
BFF, what's up?
Oh my goodness. I'm obsessed with her. So the story is I'm like trying to make this really great episode for everybody today and with Timothy, because, I still want to impress him sometimes, right? Because even though he's my friend, I'm like, yeah, let's, at the friendly competition or not, whatever, right? If someone's going to spend time with me, I want to make sure that they're getting decent time out of me, so to speak. It's been an interesting year already. So I sent you like 7 topics, and I was expecting you to pick one of these topics, right? Topics had included, choosing your own adventure with life on the road, talking about leading versus managing, because that's just been a big topic on my mind as I see some businesses making some choices, not specifically in our industry, but just stories of other entrepreneurs out there. I asked him if he wanted to do networking, or should we do some goal setting, or should we do just rapid fire questions? And he said yes. I'm like, what? So we're going to do it all. That's why we're hydrating.
I'm ready.
It's going to be exciting. And then everybody can look at my figuring out how to make reels. I think I'm going to say this real quick, and everybody that's doing any sort of social media management or e-commerce or whatever is just going to laugh at me. I'll be like, the system is rigged. They all the algorithms for any success without paying, Meta or whoever to do your advertisement. It's all set up for video. It's not even posting anymore. It's not even hashtags. It's like, can you get in this scroll? I'm like, this is very interesting. If you think about advertisement 15 years ago, it was catalogs, right? Definitely in our industry. And now it's like, there's no commercials are not the same way. Advertising is not the same. It's scrolling. So we got thoughts, people. Okay. Mm-hmm. Timothy, I'm going to go through a couple comments real quick, and then I'm going to give you the floor. So for people that don't know who you are, although I'm pretty sure the 3,000 people on this page, you've met all 3,000 or you know them in some way. Look at this. Oh my goodness. I don't think you'll need a facelift. You'll age beautifully. Okay. Husband points for the record. Thank you. Blanca, someone trying to get lucky. Oh, you're so cute with fuck it. We're doing it all. Yep. Thanks, babe. We're going to do it all these questions. Mostly I'm excited about my little diddly I started here at the end where it's like, just do some rapid fire questions and see where that goes. Sure. It's like I'm trying to be Ellen, but not Ellen. We'll have like a game.
Ellen, but a nice person?
Who is he? We don't know him. These nice people. No, I mean, you can be whoever you want. Again, it's my freaking show. So welcome. There's no advertisers here. This is just me, myself, and my dogs. So we do what we want, people. Okay. Timothy.
Yes.
The floor. For anybody who hasn't had the pleasure of meeting you and is just tuning in, who's Timothy? Tell me all the fascinating things of your world.
Sure. So my name's Timothy Ferencz. I'm the regional manager with Joe. I just recently celebrated 22 years in the adult industry. So I got my start selling gay porn. And it's kind of a funny story. I was in bank. I was actually working for a startup, and we were acquired by First Data Corporation, which does credit card processing. And this is probably like 2002, I think. So the company was absorbed to First Data. First Data wanted us to go out. We were managing teams of people to go out and do credit card processing. And I was like, this is not my jam. So I don't need to be hoofing it up and down Hollywood and Sunset Boulevard to every little store trying to switch people to credit card processing. So I ended up going to a party at Shishi LaRue's, which is a very famous gay porn director. A friend of mine, Sean, worked there.
We know that name.
Yes. And he was like, well, what are you doing right now? I said, oh, well, we just got absorbed by this other company. I hate it. I'm not a salesperson that can do credit card processing. I really have to believe in what I sell or what I like. And he told me, he's like, well, I think we're interviewing for sales. And I'm, what, selling porn, really? Like, he's like, come in and talk to him. So I came in and talked to him, talked to Sean, ended up getting the job. And that started my career in the adult industry. That was 2003. I was there till 2008. And then I went to a year to Pacific Sun. And then in 2010, I went to AVN, which pretty much everybody knows. That's really where everyone knows me from, is AVN and running the Vibe program and the buyer meeting program. And then we had what we called the culling in 2021 during COVID.
Are you guys really calling it the culling?
Well, all of us that got cut, we call it the culling.
No, I mean, but like, yes, in your circle of just like cuteness, yeah. Right? Not like, yeah. I love that. I love that, actually.
So, we all got chopped. And then it was funny because we posted in P3. And we're going to talk about networking later on. And that's something I definitely want to speak about, because that post in P3 got me about 15 or 16 people reaching out for a job. And as you know, you reached out to me and I said, hey, I just need like 2 weeks to kind of chill for a little bit. Responded to about 6 companies, took 5 interviews, got 5 offers, and ended up with Joe. And I've been there since 2001.
In a different episode, we can just like, I bet you might have told me before, but I know you had other offers. I was like, so, well, yay, how to give interview skills and get good, employees, right? Like, how do you find good people? I don't know. But also, we'll talk about that in networking. And you at AVN was a big thing. That's pretty much how you met everybody. And you definitely got to see not just a selling side of the B2B side of the business, but also you got to see it from very much as like, I like to say both sides of the desk, right? You had to be the middleman for both, right? Your exhibitors and your consumers coming in and out, and then the vendors, I'm assuming.
Right. Yeah. So we dealt with everybody. So I dealt with the online industry, all the tech side of the online industry. So planning all the trade shows, doing all the speed networkings, all the meetings, advertising for the magazine, advertising online, exhibit space for the show, all the novelty companies, the video companies, the content companies. So it's funny because people would always reach out when we were there trying to meet people like, hey, this is my job. This is my business. How do I get to meet all these other people? And they would call AVN and I'd end up getting the phone call and trying to put people together. So.
And that's a huge part of your job, at least as we're talking today in what I'll think of another word, but today's word is that in the vernacular of this industry, right? Where we talk about how important networking is, but then on paper, it's always hard to reflect, right? It's almost like you got to roll up with your contact book, but you can't really do that without, proving your value. But also it's like, again, so many stories, not just in this show, but, the All Lubed Up show before, or just in my selling career. How many people, it's not who who knows you, right? It's always like someone said something, and if something works out, you can choose that opportunity, right? You had the opportunity to choose 6 different jobs instead of just, hey, we've all been there. I'm doing a job. I'm a body somewhere because I have to eat.
Right. And I mean, in this industry, and we'll talk about this later too, it's all about relationships. 100%.
It's its own kind of currency here.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I'm so curious. I've tried to ask other, field salespeople in not, I won't even say medical, right? Because some of our stuff goes in between with FDM, with the FDA stuff and lube and condoms, but just any other industry that has field sales in it, does it work the same way? I'm always curious. Am I just too far down the rabbit hole? Do you need to have the same sort of Rolodex? Do you need to have the same sort of just connections with people? Or is it just already all laid out there? Because then I've had people say, oh, that's not really a sales function. If, most of your customers, it's more account management, right? You're inside sales, you're just managing. But I'm like, no, but then there's more things. I'm not just picking up the phone and saying, hey, where's your order? Right.
I mean, especially on our side, because we're out doing store visits and store trainings, it is absolutely relationship oriented.
Right. Well, yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about some life on the road. As Blanca's saying, it's definitely the relationship aspect of it. And I know one way, I shouldn't say one way. Well, yes, one of many ways, but I guess I'm going to say the framework that we've inherited in this industry has been travel, right? A lot of customers, retailers, distributors alike are expecting, someone to travel to your doorstep. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but that is your forced focus time, right? Forced focus time. There we go. I made words. And that's when somebody has already carved out in their brain, this is when I'm talking to you. You're going to be right in front of me. I'm not dealing with technology. I'm putting in my order. I'm doing all the things. And then I'll talk to you in a month, right? But sometimes you can't be everywhere at once all the time. So I know the industry's adapting because it has to, but definitely it seems like the expectation is for someone to, choose your own adventure and have life on the road, right? How to manage that hustle and grind. We could have a whole hour episode on it anyways, but we'll try not to. So let's just Timothy, how is it? Yeah, dive in. What's a typical day for a road warrior look like in a sales world for you guys? And we're talking maybe for anybody who doesn't know System Joe, they're kind of big sauce, big potatoes. So I don't want anyone's business to feel like this is like their model. This is just kind of an example. But yeah, just make sure everybody knows how big and how many resources the company is.
Yeah. So for Joe, it's a little bit different because we are privately owned, but we're privately owned by a venture capital company. So we are not single ownered. We have a team of investors that, executive leadership team meets with every month. And then through that conversation, things get down to how we're doing strategy, products. We have several divisions. Joe is one division. We have a white label division and we have an online division. So our facility up in Santa Clarita is 200,000 around there, 200,000 square feet. So it's massive. It's 2 or 3 football fields, I think. So people don't realize how big the lubricant industry is. We are worldwide. So for us, our working, I guess our process and our flow is different than some other companies because we are larger and we are, I would say, I don't know, I guess I wouldn't say corporate is the name for it, but because we're owned by an investment group, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, your communication, I guess the cadence looks maybe different than what a retailer or one of our distributors would look like because you have to speak very detailed, very simply to as many hands as it's going up to, and that oftentimes leads to KPIs, right?
Right.
You get a lot of sales analysis from it because that's the fastest way people can kind of absorb what's happening without reading a 1,200-page document.
Right. I mean, people understand we have sales team here, US, Europe, Australia. We have our white label team. We have the Amazon team. We have product development. We have product management. We have warehouse, shipping, regulatory, customer service, accounting, marketing, operations. And these are departments. This isn't just one person sitting in a cubicle. It's a
not
group
like
of
me
people.
where I'm like, hey, you want to talk to marketing? Sure,
Right.
that's me. Hey, you want to place an order? Sure, that's me. Hey, you need customer service? What do you need?
Well, I mean, and people don't realize that. And so, I mean, even for myself, when I first started, it's like the first time I went up to the corporate office, I was like, oh my God, like, really? Okay, great. I'm on, this is great. I mean, just to have all the different, especially the people in regulatory, like getting into the lube business on the adult side, and you probably went through this, you didn't realize what it is and all the regulatory hoops that we have to jump through, especially Joe, because we have all the 510Ks and everything is done by the book. Absolutely. And the work that goes in behind the scenes to make sure that's accomplished. I mean, the regulatory team.
Can you let anybody who doesn't know what a 510K is,
Sure.
right? Like, again, and to answer your question quickly, no, it's okay, guys. I had no idea that lubricant was a medical device until I was
Correct.
working with them, right? Like, all the things I've learned about condoms in the last 2 years were things that I had no idea. And I'd already been in the industry for 8 years. So you don't know what you don't know, people. So we're trying to tell you.
Right. So lubricant, according to the federal government, considered a class 2 medical device. It is required by law that if you have the word lubricant on the front of your bottle, it has to have a 510K certification. What that means, it has to be safety tested by the FDA. And there's probably, I think, 7 or 8 bullet points that go into that testing, including cytotoxicity, osmolality, shelf stability, compatible with condoms, penile vaginal anal irritation.
I think there's a temperature one in there sometimes too.
Something like that. Yeah, I have to go through the list. But I mean, all those tests have to be passed in order to get a 510K certification. So it is required.
And you have to be condom compatible.
Absolutely have to be
or at
condom
least
compatible.
You have to do the testing to let consumers know on the packaging, which I bet a lot of people didn't even realize, right? Not that there's different materials, but did you know your labels will tell you which condom materials are compatible? Because did you know there's other things than just latex?
Right. And now the FDA has gone one step further. Every batch of product you create has to have a UDI number. And a UDI number, if you look on our bottles, will have a QR code where you can scan it. You have to have a special scanner. You can't just use your phone, but it will actually take you to all the requirements from the FDA around there. So give you the expiration date, batch number, everything.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy I don't have to deal with it, but that's so interesting. The FDA is about to get interesting. I'm not trying to get political or whatever, but it looks like some pencil pushers are running scared. And I'd be interested to know why molasses testing was on whatever other bill that just came out and not part of the FDA's. Like, why are they not already paying for that? So this could be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a whole nother show.
That's a whole other show. That'd be a good show, though.
Yeah. All right, so we'll get back because you and I have a tendency to go off track.
I know.
We will just talk and talk and talk.
We could do it. We could do what we want. It's fine. I got like 5 other episodes written. I'll just be like, Timothy, I don't have anybody today. Come rap with me.
We'll talk for hours.
Day in the life. Yeah. How do you manage all the stuff and the responsibilities, even though you have departments?
Sure. So for me, for Life on the Road, first of all, we use Oracle NetSuite. We used to use Salesforce. Salesforce has a mapping application to it. Now we're using Badger mapping. So before I go on the road, I map out my whole entire route. So I take the city, I divide it up into 4 or 5 sections, each for a day. I map out driving out as far as I can and then working my way back. It's funny because I've traveled with other reps and they're like, oh, how are we going to plan this? I'm like, I got it. Don't worry.
Like, so I already have a route.
I've sent them the routes from Salesforce mapped out. Like, here's your account. Here's the direction of the second account. Boom, 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 boom. And they looked at it like, where did you get this? I'm like, we have something that does it for us. They're like, oh, I wish we could too. And so it's
funny. People forget that you can use stuff that you did. It's like, it's not cheating if you use it again, right? Mm-hmm. Like, even though it's like, yay, a new year, it's like, no, just because you use it again, it's still fine. Like, that's not cheating.
Right. So for me, I always fly in the night before. I never want to fly in the day of a road day because what if your plane gets delayed? What if your bag gets lost? What if there's, a snowstorm,
Which has
something like
happened
that?
to me.
Yep. So I always fly the night before. So I make sure I get to the hotel, I'm rested, get a good night's sleep and all that. Depending upon if I'm staying in that hotel or I'm going to different hotels for that city. For me, I like comfort. So I always get a hotel that has a kitchen in it, and I'll go to the grocery store and shop because I don't like to
Probably
eat out a
saves
lot.
your budget too, right?
Well, everyone knows I'm diabetic. I eat keto. So I like eating out is hard for that. So for me, it's just staying on my diet. It's actually great when I travel because I stay on my diet. I'm very routine. And then basically get up in the morning, have breakfast at the hotel, and then start my day. I don't stop for lunch. I like to get everything done and get back to the hotel 4 or 5 o'clock, finish up paperwork, answer emails, et cetera, et cetera.
Batch processor.
Yeah. But for me, it's
the on or off switch. I get that.
It's super organized with my route. So I learned early on to not overplan, meaning, I'm not going to try to hit 10 accounts in one day and be a super road warrior because things inevitably come up. It never fails that when you're on the road, you'll get some email that somebody's house, something is absolutely pressing that you've got to stop, take care of it, answer it. So, plan your day reasonable because you don't want to kill yourself on the first, second, and third day because you've got a whole week somewhere.
So, I was going to say, what? It's like, I've been there where it's like, I've planned everything to a T, but what I couldn't control was, oh my God, I forgot that I'm a human. I still needed a bathroom break and water and all that stuff. It's like, you forget that all of a sudden body is like, nope, not going to do that. And you're just like, okay, fine.
Right. So, and our store visits for Joe are probably a little bit different than other people because we're not only required to do store trainings, but when we go into stores, and do a store visit, we're looking at different KPIs. So we're tracking the total amount of lube SKUs, how many Joe lube SKUs, how many of our top 10. So we have a lot of data points that we collect when we go on a store visit. For myself, I usually walk in a store, I've got my Joe shirt on, I introduce myself, I give my business card, just tell them, hey, I have some data to collect, so pretend I'm not here. And then when I'm done, if they're free, I like to chat with either the manager or the associates and just kind of ask them if they have any questions, talk about new products, if they don't have any new products, if the new product's on the shelf, and just kind of create that relationship in store with whoever I'm talking to right then and there. So,
right. That's huge. And I'm going to bounce around, right? I still want to come back and ask you what's your favorite thing about being a road warrior, but the way that you answered it, I just wanted to segue it into you've planned time to stick around for questions, or even learn anything. It's kind of it bringing me to want to talk about networking before we run out of time, right? Because we've talked about it a couple, just in passing already, how important networking, specifically the relationships and how you foster that relationship or you make them, right? You had quite some time, with AVN, as we were talking about. You met so many people from so many different ends of the business. What do you think? Why do you think networking is so crucial for any sales, right? Have you met any? I haven't met anybody in an industry that says networking is not important. But if you read, whatever sales data, it's never how many network engagements or this, that, the other, right? It's really hard to tell that story to your investors.
Right. So networking, if you're looking for a job in this industry, networking is the key because I don't know of anybody who has gotten a job that didn't get it from networking. I mean, that's how I got this job. It came from networking. We all know that.
That's how I got this job.
Yeah, people change jobs all the time in our industry, and it's usually through networking where someone asks somebody else, hey, we're going to be hiring. Do you know someone? Everybody loves to recommend their friends. So that's how that works out, especially with customers too. If you need if you need information for a buyer, a lot of times your best way of getting that is from whoever you network with in the industry, who's a really good friend. Segue keynote there for all the new people out there is never give out a buyer's information without their permission because they will hold it against you. So
I feel like that's just etiquette 101. Maybe once I get better at doing my little cute banners at the end here, I have a producer. I feel like I'm also not allowed if my friend asks me for, if just a person is like, hey, can I can I have so-and-so's information? I'll be like, yeah, let me ask. Right.
Exactly.
Like, I'm always like, hey, so-and-so, you met them yesterday. Wants your number. Are you okay with that? And it's not even a business situation. It's just like normal human behavior. Like if you have my personal information, I'm trusting you with it. So don't be a dick about it. And that would be dickish. So don't do it in work and don't do it in life.
Right. The other thing about networking too is try to connect with people on a personal level and not on a work level. So it isn't just about the toys we sell or the products or the lubes, etc. Kind of get to know that person in a different light, what they like personally. I connected with a customer because we're both super NBA fans. So like even when they send a PO and they're like, oh, because I'm a Clippers fan, they're like, oh, the Clippers suck this year. I'm like, yeah, every year they suck. Tell me something I don't know.
Doesn't that just make your job just not suck though? I don't know. I can tell everybody whatever about the nitro condoms coming out and all this fun stuff, but why do I want to call you if you're just another line on my spreadsheet? Like I want to call you because you're Kelly. Hi, Kelly. And I want to be like, how's the family? How's your turtle? Like it just makes your life that much more. I don't know. Like I know we all work because we have to. Like we have to be members of society. Blah 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 blah. But I don't know. Like if you're going to do it, maybe enjoy it, make a friend, learn something, be open.
Well, it's always nice to, one thing I always do is try to find somebody's origin story in the industry. Like, how did you get into adult? What brought you here? Like, how did you go from, being in marketing, from a copier company to working in adult, or what was people that own adult stores? How'd you get into business? Like, what did you, when you woke up one day and said, I want to open an adult store? And so
there's some great stories. Or like I inherited it. I didn't know that was what my family's business was. And then someone passed away and I inherited it and I love it. I love it more than my whatever supply chain, corporate, blah, blah, blah job.
Yeah. So getting to know someone's origin story or just connecting with them on a different level on what they like or what they're interested in. Everyone knows I love shoes. So I have customers
you like shoes?
I have customers who will send me pictures of shoes. They're like, fun. Oh, I saw these. I thought of you. I'm like, oh my God.
Do you get some good ones? Or do you get some sometimes where you're like, why did you send that to me? I would never wear that.
No, never. They're all good. They're all good, Tori.
That's a different episode. How to say things nicely when they're negative, okay? Yeah. Timothy does it with style is all I'm going to say.
With one thing about networking too is always be yourself. Don't put on a front. You're not going to mesh with everybody. So like, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea and I have no problem with that.
It's your champagne, darling.
As my mother used to tell me, she'd say, you have champagne taste on a beer budget when I was in college.
Yeah, no, it's true. They said, Tori, you're like champagne because you're champagne, but like you're someone brought the champagne to the pizza party is what they said. It's like you're bubbly, but at the wrong party.
There's some people you're just never going to connect with. So
and that's okay.
And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, when we do trainings, one of the things I try to do when I train, if it's like a group of 10 or 15 people, we tell some bad jokes. I try to connect with every associate in some way, shape, or form, because that's even another form of networking. And you can always tell there's someone there who you just don't connect with. And at first I took it really personally. I was like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? Is it me? Is it my presentation style? Like you have to evaluate.
It's hard out there sometimes, guys. Like for anybody just jumping in or that hasn't been on, I know I've met a lot of retailers or distributors or salespeople that are like, oh, I want to get on your side of the business. I want to do the road warrior stuff. I want to do this. And it's like, yes, there's a lot of glamorous stuff, right? It looks very digital marketing, but then there's also, it's a lot of work to try to engage with people at 8 a.m. that maybe don't like their job and, or don't like this manager and have like no desire to participate, but you're like, hey, I'm still here. How do you get that buy-in when you're just right? So it's like 7 a.m. training or like 9 p.m. trainings where you're just like standing in a little bathroom here, right? But like we're here because we want to help, right?
Right. Yeah. Coffee and donuts help in the morning. Always bring treats, free stuff. People love free stuff. So
yeah, that does.
But
help.
I think you have to sit back and say, it's not personal. And there's some people you don't connect with. Like I'm a big vibe and energy kind of guy. Like we either mesh or we're not going to mesh. And you can tell.
You Virgo, you.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
Virgo, you. I know this entire room before I've even stepped in it.
Yes, Tori did my chart, so like I'm the Virgoist of Virgos, so she knows.
He is like a Virgo of Virgo. It's almost like his Virgo-ness cancels each other out, which is probably why you like sports so much.
There you go. Right? I'm a
There
sporty
you go.
girl.
I
Come
like
on.
it. You know what? I don't know. It's whatever. People will call it the placebo effect or astrology or I don't know, good business practice or whatever. In my head, I'm just like, whatever you're going to call it. I'm not the master of the universe, so I'm just going to give it a name and move on because it amuses me.
So one thing about networking, because I saw this on your questions for new people.
Yes.
Especially when you go to a trade show. A lot of people have been in this industry for a long time. We all know each other, we're all friends, you know, hugs, kisses, that kind of thing. So if you're new, it's going to seem a little bit intimidating to you to like walk in and be like, well, I don't really know anybody. So the best entrance that I've ever used or taught people is kind of lurk for a little bit and scope out the area and see kind of who's talking to who. And you can kind of pick out who knows a lot of people and politely introduce yourself. And, you know, first of all, tell them you're new. Say, hey, you know, I'm really new to the industry. I noticed that, you know, you tend to know a lot of people. Can I ask you a couple questions? And pretty much everybody in the industry is going to be friendly to you. And if they're rude, let us know because we'll
then you can find the right people.
Yeah.
Or at least not the ones that I would say you need to know to have influence, right? They probably don't know what they're doing either.
Right. But, you know, if coming up in genuine and being like, hey, you know, I'm new and can I ask you a couple questions or I need a couple referrals. This industry, we love to refer our friends. So if someone comes up to me and says, hey, you know what, I know you guys do lube, but I'm looking for this. Who can you recommend? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, let me go here's 4. Do you want me to walk you over there and introduce them to you so you guys can make that connection? So most
or vice
people,
versa. How many people have you talked to where you're like, I can't help you, but let me know if you have a referral, right? Or can I have one of your referrals? And they're like, oh, absolutely. Someone else asked me for this. Please take care of it. Most of the time people want, you know, whatever big projects that's come together or, you know, most of the time people want to do whatever it is you're asking of them. We're just probably all burnt out at this point.
Right. But yeah, be very genuine, introduce yourself, let them know that you're new, that you're not just do what I do. Offer to restock their mini fridge water. No, Tori likes LaCroix because I have to bring it to her at Amity every year. So there.
Oh my goodness. I forgot that. He knows my weakness. Timothy is great. I mean, he's just great, but also he tends to have the car and he's like, yeah, I'm running to Target. Do you need anything? I was like, I need the water. But like it's the limoncello. Yes. Limoncello.
I know.
One. It keeps me going. And if I didn't have it, then, you know, people would have to deal with more of this. And then it would not be good.
Perks to being local.
Right. The friendliest industry I've ever known for sure. Oh, hey, I'm going to be closer to you. The Cremamers. It's going to be fun. It was Fiji. Oh, that was the, you know, when you just get too thirsty and your friend Blanca knows all the tricks to put all the things back in the mini fridge before you check out, which sounds stupid, but is brilliant. I was like, why did I never think about that before? I think that was Instacart. She was, I don't know, just brilliant. There's so many great hacks for everybody on the road, just trying to do their stuff. And again, yeah, there's a lot of friendship and support that's happened with networking, right? A lot of people don't have the same sort of departments, or even departments are still always learning how to communicate with each other and what the trends are in this industry because it's moving quickly. So it's always, you know, not just, it's always a good opportunity to connect with somebody. And if you can't help someone, that's okay. Just say, like, just put it out there in the ether. Someone will find you. Tag us. We'll figure it out. I swear. Between Timothy, I, and Blanca, who I think is still here somewhere with her Fiji water, we'll figure something out for you. So
I always said that someone somewhere knows the person you need to connect with. You just got to find that person. So I might ask Tori for a referral or a lead or something. She may not know it, but she may know somebody who does know, and she will ask that person and then get back to me. And same thing with networking.
Pay it forward almost.
Exactly. And same thing with going on the road. Like, find a couple of reps that you're really good friends with and do a road trip with a couple people. It makes the time go by faster. It's fun. It can lead to some crazy adventures. Make sure that you're traveling with people you get along with and that you mesh really well. So like I have my road crew. They know that I plan and I drive. Then my other one does the DJ and directions.
There you go.
And then the back seat is in charge of entertainment and snacks.
I like that.
So it works.
I don't know. Again, Virgo, but I can deal with it. It's like, hey, I want to know what I'm getting into. Well, and then from a management perspective or a budget perspective, what a great way to trade, not just help out splitting the budget, but what a great way to trade intellectual property, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I didn't know so-and-so buyer was into dogs, or this was that, or then that person married this person. You connected that dot for me. So if anything, I think customers tend to appreciate it because not only do you get a better presence rolling in, but you get, a more rounded kind of team coming in together.
Right. And that's where networking also comes into play, because the person I'm traveling with on the road, oh, there you go. A person that you're traveling on the road with may have an in with a store chain or buyers that you don't really know, or that you haven't been able to connect with. And so you get that personal introduction from somebody that buyer trusts, which automatically or sort of kind of gives you that level of trust and passes it on to you, because what they'll say is, well, if this person is traveling with this person, that person is probably a good person. So let me listen to what they have to say.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and then thank you, Scott. Did you see Scott? He says, brilliant info. Yes. Love you guys. All the details on sales 101, 102, and 103. Oh my goodness. Don't joke, because I could do that. Again, I used to be a manager. Most of my skills I've kind of crafted to be more of sales management and leadership. So this has been fun in the last 2 years to try to take that stuff and pump it into you, Scott. So thank you for listening.
So let's jump into that, because your question was, how do you define the difference between leading and managing?
Oh yeah, do that one.
So manager, very simple. I think managers are reactive and leaders are proactive.
That's beautiful.
In a nutshell.
Can you give us an example for any leaders out there?
Sure. So previous employment, I worked with someone who said they were solution orientated. And
orientated?
Yeah.
That's a word. I'm just kidding.
But that only came up when there were problems. And that's a manager. You're reacting to problems. You're not leading, because when you're leading, what you're doing is you're anticipating the problems, coming up with the solutions ahead of time, and leading it off of the past so you don't even have the problems. So think about some kind of new process you're going to implement, okay? So a leader, what they're going to do is they're going to look at the process, they're going to look at all the steps after it gets implemented, and then they're going to look at it and say, okay, let me be proactive and think of all the choke points. Let me look at all the problems that might occur, all the questions customers are going to have. Let me find the solutions to those, kind of work backwards, and then implement those so there aren't any problems in the first place. So leader is actually being proactive. You're removing all the problems. A reactive manager is just someone who's reacting to things as they come up, instead of actually solving the problem. Like I was looking at a little kid's going to burn his hand on the stove. So what do? Do you turn off the stove, or you teach him not to touch the stove?
The world will teach you real quick. Keep touching that stove. That's all I'm saying. Yes, thank you, Blanca. Sorry, I gotta go back one comment. Okay. She says, as someone who started in the apparel end and felt entirely ostracized, you're all the best of us. Oh, you're so sweet. That's another reason why we do what we do. And I know Timothy and I, we've talked about it before or whatever. It's like, yes, it is intimidating. I've been there, right? It almost, at one point, there's events where literally the tables were separated and all labeled, and you're like, I don't really know where I need to go. Just be brave enough. You'll get there, right? And then she says, I owe my road success to an industry veteran who now has a podcast about condoms. Oh, shut up, Blanca, as I'm reading this in relationships talk to me. She had a brilliant idea for a tour to mail, right? Well, so, and then that's another great thing about networking we didn't even talk about, just the inspiration and the collaboration. Doesn't matter what your art medium is. I'm a horrible artist, but here I am talking, right? You can't keep creating if you don't kind of have that river of creation coming out, right? This might not be my best work ever, but the next stuff can't happen, right? Timothy wouldn't be here having all these great informations if he was like my first one ever 2 years ago. Look at where we've come, right?
Yeah. Also, for the newbies out there too, I think it's really important to know that it's probably going to take 2 or 3 shows before you feel comfortable like really comfortable and start to get to know people. And this comes from, back in the AVN days, we'd have a lot of outside companies coming in because they saw adult as a way to make quick money. And so adult, especially on the porn side, was very insular because a lot of these companies have been around for a long time. And then all of a sudden you see all these outside companies coming in trying to make a buck off of that. So adult as itself, we are a little bit insular. So it's going to take a little bit for people, once they see you and recognize that you're in it long term, that you're not just here for a quick buck or you're not coming from outside the industry, that they're going to warm up to you. So it usually takes like 2 to 3 shows, just so you know.
That's good advice. And then also I would say some of us just are the only person in the department. So if it was like, hey, we had a really great engagement and it's been like 2 weeks, maybe this is just me spewing out my guilt. I want to talk to all of you if you're still in my inbox. But you will hear from me. I definitely want to be, at least for me. And I know for Timothy here, it's like, we want to do, and we will do what we say we were going to do. Sometimes we just don't know what the timeline looks like because this industry is growing. Yes. But also the trends are moving faster than I think, execution can. So,
Yeah.
we're all doing our best.
Yes. Did I just summon? Oh, is he here? Is JB there?
Is he here? JB, roll call. Are you here? Maybe I can summon him. Red Bull.
Well, she mentioned the Tour de Mail, so I know he did that with Rob. Was Rob on too? Like Reamer on?
Yeah, it was Reamer, right? And Blanca and JB.
Can you imagine? I would love to be a fly on the wall in that car.
Oh, look. Here he is. We miss you. We were talking about you. Did we summon you? I think Blanca did.
He's probably got like a cigar and
Rob and Blanca. Oh, I would love it. I would feel honored and treasured and privileged if JB was like outside with his hot tub, making some wings or whatever, his beer, and my dumb ass is like blop, 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 blop on the phone. That would be amazing.
He's got some whiskey or bourbon and a cigar, probably.
Love it. That's a Tuesday. That is a Tuesday. Okay. We're at like 47 minutes now. So
I know we've made like 5 questions.
Okay, you have to come back because it'll be fun.
Okay, what's one last thing you want to ask me?
Should I do the rapid fire questions?
Sure.
Those will be fun. Okay. Because they'll do it fast. These are like, don't think about them after we say hot tub. Thanks, Crystal. Oh, wait. More story. We celebrated Rob's birthday on the Tour de Mail. Aw, I should call him.
Get Rob on.
See what he's been up to. Now I'm going to make him. Yeah. Okay. No, I haven't called him in a little bit, so I should make him. I should call him and be like, hey, we talked about you. Were your ears like tingling? Because I think you need to do this.
So favorite Joe product?
Favorite Joe product, Timothy, and why?
I have 2. Well, I've always been a silicone guy for obvious reasons. It's good. Our premium, which is an amazing silicone product. So that's number 1. And number 2 would be the Oral Delight.
You like that one better than the Extra Silky with the vitamin E's?
Extra Silky is too thin for me. It runs all over the place.
Interesting.
I like the thick silicone, stays in place where you put it. You can use less.
Rockin'. And if anybody needs help with their lubricant,
if you're looking for, if you're into oral sex, Oral Delight's your product. So,
all right,
couple spritzes in the mouth, and as I guess I say this in training, and they all laugh. The kids call it sloppy toppy, I guess is what it is.
Sloppy toppy. Oh, okay. A little spit and tickle, a little hawk two with the little. All right.
The hawk two girl. We should send some to the hawk two girl. I'm telling you.
I will send her all of it, but also I just want to remind everybody: cheap seats in the back. Spit is not lube. It's just water. Spit is just water. It does nothing. So
and it has a lot of bacteria in it. It's not good.
And you can get syphilis from spit and gonorrhea and one of the HIVs.
And thrush.
Not that I'm trying to scare everybody, but also it's like we can help. We can figure it out. Like we can do better than spit. All I'm saying. But Hawk 2 girl, I'm here for you. I like your message. Wetter is better, but we can do better. Hold on, Blanca. Blanca, my network consists of a great miss, Tori, BFF, JB, and my sister wives, Kristen. Oh, I haven't talked to her in a little bit. And Nicole. See, all these people I need to call. We're coming for you.
Blanca's into polyamory.
Yeah, you know what? It's not. Some people just, she's a Libra. We share. Sounds like a garbage pail kid. How dare you?
All right.
Okay. Coffee or energy drinks? I don't think you're either, really, right? You're Coke Zero.
Coke Zero Cherry. And I will go to as many stores as possible to find it.
Cherry.
But
look, also I have a.
See, you got your LaCroix that I get.
We're guilty. All right. Best or most memorable trade show experience?
Ooh. Do you want one that's like juicy kind of?
Yeah, give me the juicy one. There's no advertisers here.
So let's see. Okay. Let me think.
Ooh, look, Hot 2 Girl is under fire for her crypto scam. She may be on the outs quickly. I've heard backers are suing her currently for the rug pull. Oh, damn, Hot 2 Girl. She didn't know. She didn't know about the business, and she doesn't know about the loot. Poor thing.
Right. Same thing with Lana Rhoades, the porn star. She did a rug pull a couple years ago.
Dang.
Wow.
I think, what was it? Starry. She won, though, because Sierra, right? Sierra, because now we have Starry, right? The other way around. That's the only one I think won anything in the industry lately that I can think of.
Oh God! So most memorable trade show experience, I'd say it probably had to be at one of the years at AVN.
When I was like, "Hey, I don't have a wristband," but Scott said I have one, and you were like, "Fucking wristbands."
Yes. So okay. So here, just a disclaimer. Because at AVN, everybody asks you for everything free. They want the wristbands. They want to get into every party. They want free hotel rooms. I was famous for my no list in December. Like, no, I will not give you this porn star's information, blah, blah, blah. So when you're getting bombarded by people 24/7, you're just like, no. Tori, come on, no. But Scott, no.
I didn't mean to. I got the dragged, and I got in, guys, because then eventually I talked to Timothy, right? We networked about it, and he was fine. But like, I get it, right? That goes back to what you're saying. It's like, it's never personal.
Is that when you guys come up to the penthouse to try to go to one party, and I said, yeah.
And he was like, I did whatever. This happened, man.
You're like, this is the wrong penthouse. This is the private party penthouse.
And I was like so uncomfortable because I was trying to do the thing, put myself out there with the networking of the things. And then, you know what? It wasn't even me he's mad at, right? Most of the time people have like a different like there's a bias in someone's head, and there's like there's a gremlin before you even talk to someone. So half the time everybody's reaction is half whatever's already happened to them and nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
My most memorable trade show with Tim. Oh, I like this. Just with Tim. Tim memories is when he actually admitted to being wrong, and I got a selfish with him apologizing.
Selfie. He took a selfie.
Okay, that's amazing.
That's the one and only time I've been wrong.
Where's the picture, JB? Send it in. Oh, and then here we go. He corrects us. I just wasn't paying attention. She's a hot mess. How?
Who, all of us? Both of us? Probably.
I think so. I don't know. Blanca just says she a hot mess.
So
yes.
Trade show experience. This was a funny one.
It was
during the XBIZ Awards, and we had a private party up in the penthouse, and there were several talent doing illicit substances on the table, and security walked.
Allegedly.
And so I walked up and said, "Excuse me," and they looked at me like, I'm from Mars or something. And I said, "Can you go do that in the bathroom like a normal person?" And they looked at me and said, "Well, who are you?"
Like a normal person?
Yeah. They said, "Well, who are you?" And I said, "This is kind of my party, and if security walks in here and shuts us down, we all get kicked out. So get out of here." So, and there's other things I can't mention on video. So.
No. That's fine. That's for the book that comes out. That'll help you write. It'll be fun or whatever.
Oh, you know what? If I wrote a book about what I've seen and heard, and yeah,
why not? Some 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Write the book. Everybody's dead. Poof. Bye.
Well, what happens at the nomination parties stays at the nomination parties. That was our motto.
Fair. Okay. So, okay, that's fair. It's fair. Allegedly, right? None of this happened.
Allegedly.
I like where Blanca and Crystal are going with like Mormon housewives. They're getting into sex toys. Hey, the religion in general is not anti-sex toy. Depending on how you want to put that lens on, that's I'm not going to poke that bear too much, but
no, the most religious people are the closeted freaks. Come on, we all know that.
And again, it's no, we're just okay. Back to the questions, Tori. Be quiet. If you could have dinner with any leader, living or dead, who would it be? Not manager,
Warren Buffett.
leader.
Warren Buffett.
Okay.
I know he auctions off a lunch, like a 30-minute lunch, for some ungodly amount of money, like $1 million. But here's someone who's one of the richest people in the world. He literally drinks Coke and eats McDonald's every day. He still lives in the same 4-bedroom house he moved into when he was 20-something. Like, doesn't live an ostentatious life at all. And just wanted to
him.
Like, pick his brain and be like, how did you get from there to where you are now? And all the stock trades and everything.
Yeah, like, just, it can't be all luck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you see those opportunities?
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth agrees with you. The most uptight are usually the most freaky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we know that. But we're a special breed of people doing what we do. Mm-hmm. We can sniff it before it's even a thing. What's one item you always pack for work trips?
Extra underwear.
All right, that's just good advice. That's just good advice. Period.
It's just, if I'm traveling for 5 days, I'm packing like 10 pairs of underwear.
I also bring laundry pods though, because sometimes then I can just do all my laundry. So when I get home, I just unpack it. I don't have to take it out and unpack it again.
Well, because now it's like if I'm working all day and you're driving around and blah, 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 and then you want to go to dinner somewhere else, like I like a change of clothes. And it's
especially, I don't know, it's the trade show stink. I can't tell you what it is, where it's like sometimes I shower like twice a day, but I still smell like weird hotel and like trade show funk. So I have to change like 3 times a day.
Yeah. And when you're packing, always pack laundry sheets, fabric softener sheets in your suitcase. Keeps clothes smelling nice.
That is a good one. Real good one. Mm-hmm. Describe your job in 3 words.
Let's see. Sales, education, and relationships.
Oh, hey, pretty much nailed it. That's it. That was fun, rapid questions. Those were kind of cute. Right. Huh?
We literally covered probably 3 of the questions of the 30 you sent me.
I know, but at least we were prepared. You know me. I'm like, well, if there's any dead air.
Anytime you want to do part 2, I'm good.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to I'm all scheduled out for January, people. Yay. And I have a post planned in my head. I just haven't been brave enough to send it because I keep overthinking where I'm like, I made like a cute survey monkey from like, if anybody wants to come on, and then I get sick of myself. So I'm going to talk to Timothy instead. And I'm going to do the wrap up questions where I'm just going to be like, we got to go because I don't want to bore everybody. Oh, but yay, Crystal. Love you guys. Great show. Thank you for coming.
Where's Josh?
I miss you. I know. Where's Joshua? Where's Mr. Cash?
Is Josh too good for us?
Yeah.
He better be practicing his pickleball.
Yeah, work on that pickleball and the banjo. I need a theme song.
Yeah. No more third place.
Countdown.
Third place is unacceptable.
Aw, Blanca, we love you too. Okay, so wrapping up. It's a wrap because I sell condoms. What's the one piece of advice that you're going to give any aspiring sales professionals or leaders out there? Right? What's your like, Timothy and I endorse this message?
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Thanks, Scott.
Nobody's an expert. You're going to fail every once in a while, and that's okay. You learn from it. Tori, you're familiar with positive intent.
It's a good one.
If you have positive intent and you met well, sometimes you're going to fail. There's no problem with saying I'm sorry or I was wrong. JB only gets 1. I'll never admit it ever again.
Because you only have 1 on record. JB only gets 1.
He only got 1.
He's on different metrics, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. He's on different KPIs with me. But yeah, just don't be too hard on yourself. You're going to fall, you're going to stumble. Just pick yourself up and keep going.
Fail fast. That's what my father-in-law says. Like, just realize you failed and learn from it. I was going to say, I have another good positive intent one real quick, and you can steal it. Okay. I'm elevating from that, right? And like, whenever the memoirs come up, I've decided that like, what is it? Perspective as a superpower, or it's a prison. right? How
That's
many
good.
people get stuck and they're like, oh, this is my dead end job, versus people are like, woo, I have a means to get out of this dead end job because they're paying me, right?
Mhm. Well, you remember because
Blanca,
you
I'm gonna call
you were
you.
on the training for Tom's when we talked
Oh
about
yes,
when people do something negative to you and trying to find what was their positive intent in what they
it's
did.
hard.
It's very hard
It's very
because you can
hard.
look at
It's
you can look at
beyond
that and go,
empathy, right?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, I should call Tom. Gotta call Tom. I got his
He
book
would
here
be a good
somewhere.
person
That
to
could
have
be
on.
fun. Yeah,
He'd be a
I
good
don't
person to
know.
have
I
on.
don't know if I can afford Tom, but maybe I'll do like a everybody. Here's some. I have his book still. Here's the Cliff's notes. Thank you, Kenneth.
Yeah.
And
So,
Brendy goes, sure, Virgo. She called you.
so last but not least, what is it? Your daily affirmation? No, they're disappointing affirmations.
Disappointing affirmations. I like that. Find the positive intent in that.
Well, if you follow me on Facebook, I don't take myself too seriously. I'm very sarcastic.
Oh, welcome to the show. It's all sarcasm, and we don't take ourselves too seriously. Hello.
Everything you read has a little bit of a side eye to it, and a little bit of a snark. So,
yeah, it's hard when people don't remember what satire is, but okay.
Are you going to XBIZ, Tori?
I am. Okay. So I have 2 panels to talk on next week. I don't know how that happened. And then I'm presenting an award with Loretta, I just found out.
Oh,
so this is going to be exciting. Yeah. So I'm going, and maybe, I see you. Will you drive up for the awards? Right? Because you're nominated.
Well, yeah, but it's like a mile from my house. I'll be there. I'm speaking on a panel.
Oh my God. I can't believe we're going to be that close. So I'm going to drive my van. So that means I can come bother you.
Okay.
I'm going to invite myself over.
Saturday morning, 9 a.m., there's a lube panel. Myself, Janet Reynolds from Swiss, Eric from Sliquid, Jessica from Wicked, and girl from Personal Fave. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name.
Oh, I'm there. I'm asking questions about lube.
Chad from ECN is hosting. So everything you want to know about lube, but we're afraid to ask. Oh, Dennis, what's up, buddy?
Dennis. Hey guys, if you didn't know, Dennis is the Dennis of Dennis Paradise Marketing where Tori works. I don't know why I had to say that like I was Kuzco from Emperor's New Groove. It's like the poison.
If you don't know Dennis, he's one of the OGs.
Dennis he's an OG. Oh my goodness. Maybe Dennis will come on one day. That would be like, woo, spilling the beans of everything. I'd have to put like star on everything. Like nobody's names of anything.
Have you ever had Elliot on from Nest Toys?
No. Do you think? See, I don't know if I'm even that cool. I don't know that veterans want to come and spend their time talking to me.
Oh my God.
Being like, hey, business stuff.
He has the best stories about the old days.
Oh no, he really does. He's. I can't imagine what it was like to be a like OG mafia veteran guy of this industry. I feel like it has its own filter in my mind. You know.
Blanca, Mariah will whoop Taylor's butt in a second. Don't even try it with me.
Ooh, we're talking schmack now. I can't. I better let you two figure this out on the interwebs.
Hold my earrings. It's time to fight.
You're so cool. Stop it, meow. Oh, said like somebody that I married and I paid to do that. Okay, Timothy, how can listeners connect with you and learn more about System Joe? And apparently, excuse me, we had to plug XBIZ in there too, right? There's a big event coming up, guys. If you want to know, we have some stuff.
So XBIZ, I think it's 16th through the 19th. It's is it still called the Renaissance over at Hollywood and Highland? Exec Awards are Saturday night.
Lowe's now?
Is it Lowe's? I don't know.
Low Hollywood?
There's also X3, which is their trade show for fans, I believe. Blade's going on my hair. Oh, if I had hair, I'd have a razor blade. So
I know. Should we coordinate? See you on the red carpet then, right? Ooh.
When are you coming up? Because I think Catherine and I are going to go to dinner before the award show.
Oh, fun. I'm going to drive the 15th, and then I'll be booping around in the minivan. So let me know what's going down. Is
it like a serial killer minivan?
No, it's just my mom mobile. It'll be fun just because I wanted to be able to like boop around and have a vehicle, and it's annoying to try to rent one and all the fun things. What does Blanca say? Oh, Blade's good. No, she says, Lowe's.
It's not called Lowe's.
Lowe's.
It's at Hollywood.
Okay, so
if anyone doesn't know, it's at Hollywood and Highland. So
yes, and you can watch Timothy hopefully accept his, what was it, brand ambassador of the year, or was it director?
Team manager, I think. I'm not going to win.
Team leadership, not manager. It's fine, but hey, you know what? Use that free marketing, right? Use that free networking. You get into the show for free. It's an honor to be nominated. You know? Yes. Blanca, let's meet up. She gets in 1-2. I should be there, I don't know, 1:15, the 15th or the 16th-ish. I'm not sure. Also, if anybody here is in my book club, we're trying to make a little hello while there at the hotel. But still, anybody that can still tune in virtually. So don't worry. We're still going to have our Onyx Storm session.
So if you want to learn more about Joe, you can go to shopjoe.com. You can follow us at System Joe on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook at Timothy Ferencz. Just friend request me. For people out there, the best thing to do is if you're not a member of P3, we'll plug P3. It's a great resource for the industry. There's job postings, there's new information, contests. It's a great resource if you're looking for information too. So we have some great, I believe, Molly and Tori, aren't you a admin now?
Yep, that's me. So yeah, me and Molly. So if you go and request a friend, I'm drunk on power, everyone. If you don't fill out the questionnaire, and even though someone referred you and you still don't accept the rules, I'm gonna decline you. Okay, just fill it out. Do audiobooks count? Yes. Audiobooks 100% count. And why are you trying to make me read? Because it's got hot shadow daddies and dragons. Because I would rather read about corrupt governments in a book and escape rather than have to live them in real life right now. Okay. Oh, Timothy, it was so nice to talk to you. And this was a really fun show. Like, thank you so much for this. Just a lot of great energy and kicking it off like badass for my first little live stream of 2025.
Yeah, we still have like 20 more questions, so you can have me on for a part 2 sometime.
You know, it's all part of, right? The creativity has to come out so more stuff can come out. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Well, thank you everybody for being here. And thank you again so much, Timothy, for coming. This was Tuesdays with Tori. We're going to wrap it up. And next week's going to get really fun because we'll do some pre-XBIZ stuff. And I think Blanca's doing you're going to stream the awards, I think. So maybe we'll figure something out. We could do something fun there.
Are you going to broadcast from XBIZ at the show?
Blanca did last year, so I thought she was going to do it again. But if she doesn't, I will.
Booth. Like, are you going to do a Tuesdays with Tori?
Oh, yeah. XBIZ? I'm going to do one of those. Well, I'll do something. Okay. It's not on a Tuesday, but I'm going to do something. I don't know what yet, but I'll do something. Should be fun.
All right.
Record the panel.
Well, thank you for having me. Really good. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Is it 2 weeks? No, it's next week. Holy moly.
It is next week.
Next weekend. Dang. All right, guys. We better wrap it up. We got to get things going. Right? Ooh, you have new shoes. And Blanca says she is doing a live. Okay. And, hi, bye, Catherine. And kiss. See you all next week. All right, guys. I'll see you next Tuesday. We got this.
Bye, everyone. Thanks a lot.